What would you do if the woman you trusted most was secretly giving her heart to someone else? What if the love, the laughter, and the life you built together were being shared behind your back, and you had no idea until you looked the other man in the eye? My wife's affair was hidden behind smiles and silence, but everything changed the moment I confronted the one man she thought I'd never find. How did I uncover the truth, and what happened when he finally faced me? You'll find all the answers in this video. Could everything we had built really have been a lie? Or was there something deeper she was running from? It started subtly. The late replies. The changed passcode on her phone. The nights she'd come home and say she was too tired to talk. I didn't want to believe it. I told myself she was just stressed. Work had been hard on her lately. That's what I thought. But deep down, something in me shifted. There was a coldness in her eyes, a distance in her smile. The woman who used to laugh with me in the kitchen now barely made eye contact. Was I losing her to another man, or had I already lost her long before I noticed the signs? Then came the whispers. A friend of mine from work said he'd seen her at a cafe, not with coworkers, but with someone unfamiliar. A man. He said they looked close. I brushed it off. I didn't want to believe gossip. But that was the moment the doubt became real. I started to notice more. How she always showered as soon as she got home. How she clung to her phone like it held a secret. How she smiled to herself while texting. And how her excuses started to feel like a badly written script. Could I confront her without evidence, or would she turn the tables and make me feel guilty for even asking? So I waited. I didn't want to accuse without proof. I decided to play it smart. I started noticing the apps she used, how long she spent on certain conversations, what time she disappeared during the day. Eventually, I found what I was looking for, a hidden chat app. Buried in a folder. My hands trembled as I opened it. And there it was. Conversations. Long, intimate, emotional. And worse, loving. She wasn't just cheating on me physically. She was in love with him. She had given him everything I thought only belonged to me. What kind of man was he, and how long had he been playing this role in my life without me knowing? For a while, I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I was too shocked. Too broken. I walked around with a fake smile, pretending I hadn't seen the messages that destroyed my world. I couldn't look at her the same way. Every touch felt like a betrayal. Every I love you felt hollow. But I needed to see him. I needed to look him in the eye. I wanted to see what kind of man could smile in my face while taking everything from me behind my back. What would I do when I finally stood face to face with him, and would he have the courage to admit the truth? So I tracked him down. I knew from her chats where he worked. I walked in, calm but burning on the inside. I asked to speak to him. He looked surprised, nervous. He probably knew who I was before I said a word. I told him who I was. I told him I knew everything. And then I asked him one question: do you feel proud of what you've done? He stuttered. Tried to explain. Said it wasn't supposed to happen. That he fell for her, without meaning to. That she said she wasn't happy. That she was emotionally disconnected. Did he expect me to understand, or was this just another coward trying to hide behind soft excuses? I didn't touch him. I didn't scream. I just stood there and told him something he didn't expect, that he could keep her. Because I didn't want someone who could lie so easily. I didn't want someone who gave away our memories for temporary validation. And I told him something else, that one day, she'd do to him what she did to me. Because people who cheat don't change. They just change victims. Was walking away from both of them the ultimate strength, or was it just a mask I wore to survive the pain? I left him there, sitting in silence, with no words left to say. When I got home that night, I packed a bag and left before she came home. I didn't leave a note. I didn't call. I just walked away. For the first time in years, I chose peace over pretending. I chose myself. The next morning, she blew up my phone. Messages, missed calls, voicemails filled with "please talk to me, I can explain, it's not what you think." But I never replied. She had all the chances in the world to choose me. She didn't. Would she come find me, or would she finally face the silence she created? Days passed, and I didn't return her calls. I stayed at a friend's house, quiet, calm, and rebuilding myself piece by piece. I looked in the mirror and saw a man I hadn't seen in years, not a husband, not a victim, but a man rediscovering who he was without lies tied around his heart. The silence no longer hurt. It healed. It reminded me of peace, the kind that comes after a storm you thought would never end. Was she feeling the weight of what she'd done, or had she already moved on to fill the space I left behind? Eventually, she stopped calling. Her last message said, "I understand now. I'll let you go." And she did. No more begging. No more excuses. It was over. But what she didn't know was that I had already let go long before she texted that. I let go the moment I realized love without trust is just a slow death in disguise. And I was done dying for someone who didn't fight to keep me. Could I ever love again after this, or would the damage follow me into every relationship that came next? Months passed. I focused on myself. Therapy, fitness, reconnecting with old friends, starting a new job, traveling, not far, just far enough to feel new air in my lungs. Slowly, I built a new life. One that didn't revolve around protecting someone else's comfort. One where I mattered to myself first. And one day, when I was finally ready, I met someone new. Someone who didn't need to be impressed, just understood. And I told her everything. Not because I wanted her to pity me, but because I never wanted to live in secrets again. Could I trust again, or would I always wait for the betrayal I once didn't see coming? The truth is, healing doesn't come in a single moment. It comes in the small decisions, the ones where you choose honesty over fear, self-respect over silence, peace over chaos. My wife's affair was a secret. But when her lover faced me, it stopped being about revenge. It became about closure. And I got mine. Not from her. Not from him. But from myself. And just when I thought the truth had fully come out, something even more unexpected happened, something I never saw coming. But that's a story for another video. If this one had you hooked, trust me, the next one will leave you speechless. Click on the next video now, because the secrets don't stop here, and the truth only gets deeper.